Oh yeah. Hello. Hello everyone. Tashitele. Hope everyone is doing fine. And welcome back to the Lojong class. So as usual, uh, on the basis of taking sincere refuge in Guru Buddha Dhamma Sangha and generating compassionate motivation to bring benefit out of your life, in particular this very session, to the cause of numberless sentient beings, temporary happiness up to the ultimate happiness of enlightenment. On the basis of that, we come together to do short practice of recitation of few powerful mantras, especially dedicating to the peace and happiness of all sentient beings and peace in this world and overcome COVID, other diseases, war, famine, natural disasters, and also dedicate to those families and friends that who need prayer supports. So we also come together through you. You specifically dedicate to them. Okay. Sangye Jodan Zoye Jonala, Janjo Bado Dane Jazoje, Dage Jinzo Jebe Sonamge, Dola Benje Zange Dobara Jo, Zange Jodan Zoye Jonala, Janjo Bado Dane Jazoje, Dage Jinzo Jebe Sonamge. Dola Benje Zange Dobara Jo, Zange Jodan Zoye Jonala, Janjo Bado Dane Jazoje, Dage Jinzo Jebe Sonamge, Dola Benje Zange Dobara Jo. Gangi do zene zone dawa damje bambejre dambeje ne denze be godam de la chaze lo donye nye zondo jube la manzeje zenje ganji dende chana be mo denze jazo la zowa devzo da ju jinge lo zemje damje dewa dang dewe ju dang dembra ju je zemje damje dunga dang dunga je ju dang dawa ju je zemje damje dunga mebe dewa dang mi dawa ju Zemje damje nire ja danye dan dawe danyo lan nebra gyuro je zemje damje dewa dan dewe gyo dan dembra gyo je zemje damje dunga dan dunga je gyo dan dawa gyo je zemje damje dunga mepe dewa dan me dawa gyo je zemje damje nire ja danye dan dawe danyo lan nebra gyuro je tabye doje jaje re doje jenje me do doje bunjomba zeje lombo dabo zebe go jaje jabon den la cha ze lo da ya da om mu ne ma mu ne ye zo ha da ya da om mu ne ma mu ne ye zo da ya da om mu ne ma mu ne ye zo da ya da om mu ne ma mu ne ye zo da ya da om mu ne ma mu ne ye zo da ya da om mu ne ma mu ne ye zo ha da ya da om mu ne ma mu ne ye zo Dayada gade gade baranga de bara zamga de bodhi yezo han dayada oma gade baranga de bara zamga de bodhi yezo han dayada oma gade baranga de bara zamga de bodhi yezo dayada oma gade baranga de bara zamga de bodhi yezo han dayada oma gade baranga de bara zamga de bodhi yezo han dayada oma gade baranga de bara zamga de bodhi yezo han dayada oma gade baranga de bara zamga de bodhi yezo dayada oma gade baranga de bara zamga de bodhi yezo han dayada oma gade baranga de bara zamga de bodhi yezo ha Omo ahum benzan guru bemaze de 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 Omo ahum benzaram guru bema sede hum. Omo ahum benzaram guru bema sede hum. Mime zebe derje jereze teme jembe ombo jembe yang de bon male jomze zangwen da ganje jembe zuje zonga ba lo zanda be jama zo ande mime zebe derje jereze teme jembe ombo jembe yang de bon male jomze zangwen da ganje jembe zuje zonga ba lo zanda be jama zo ande mime zebe derje jereze teme jembe ombo jembe yang de bon male jomze zangwen da ganje jembe zuje zonga ba lo zanda be jama zo ande mime zebe derje jereze Deme jembe ombo jembe yang. Tupo male jonje zawe da kanje jembe zuje zonga ba lo santa be shala zo wande mingme zewe derjen jene zi deme jembe ombo jembe yang. Tupo male jonje zawe da kanje jembe zuje zonga lo santa be shala zo wande mingme zewe derjen jene zi deme jembe ombo jembe yang. Tupo male jonje zawe da kanje jembe zuje zonga lo santa be shala zo wande. Om mani beme hum, mani beme hum, om mani beme hum, om mani beme hum, om mani beme hum, mani beme hum, om mani beme hum, om mani beme hum, om mani beme hum, om mani beme hum. Omo mani beme omo dare dure zo ha omo dare dure zo ha omo dare dure zo ha omo dare dure zo omo dare dure zo ha 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 omo dare dure zo Omo dare dure zo ha, omo dare dure zo ha, omo dare dure zo ha, omo dare dure zo. Omo dare dure zo ha, omo dare dure zo ha, omo dare dure zo ha, omo dare dure zo. Omo dare dure zo ha, omo dare dure zo ha. Tayada omo be ganze maha be ganze ranza zamu gade zoha. Tayada omo be ganze maha be ganze ranza zamu gade zo. Tayada omo be ganze maha be ganze ranza zamu gade zoha. Tayada omo be ganze maha be ganze ranza zamu gade zo. Tayada omo ganze maha ganze ranza samu gade soha. Tayada omo ganze maha ganze ranza samu gade so. Tayada omo ganze maha ganze ranza samu gade so. Tayada omo ganze maha ganze ranza samu gade so. Omo mare zemazo, omo mare zemazo, omo mare zemazo, ha, omo mare zemazo, ha, omo mare zemazo, ha, omo mare zemazo, omo mare zemazo, omo mare zemazo. Daje jawa tamje da chepra ye la zambe de ni geme ze jonde do bala me jinje lo da jajongo jeze do do jome jo yazas. Semde zemele juve juba gole nyudo jabdo zo jawa de nyudo da oze jama do jone do waje jama le ba de sala go ba jo jambe ba we jidra jamba da kundo zambo de ya de jinje de da kunje je zo da lo Jawa de da damje rabdo ngo de zonje be jawa damje de ngo wa gala chudo nga ba de da je je be zawa de gunja sambo je je rabdo ngo wa rai je semje ne ba je nye ba anyo do ne le da jo je de we ne ne ma lu ba da do ju wa me bra jo Pama zemje damje den da den ju je ngen do damje da do do wa da jan ju sem ba ga na zu ju ba de da gunje mo la jo jo je be dan zo wa mi ge be ye je no bo ba zam ji zemje re wa gun ju Samba cherishing Okay, thank you very much. Yes. So, yeah, so we are studying Lojong, mind training, mind transformation teaching. At this stage, we are studying the text titled The Stages of Heroic Mind. attribute to Serlingpa. If you are using the same text volume, then we are on page 186. So this comes from this text, there's 4 chapters. So we are on the last chapter, chapter 4, which is on page 186. Start from verse 54. Oh, yeah. Okay, so so the title of the teaching, teaching on cultivating the power of tainted virtues. So, so it's very much, you see, so this chapter, the main, the theme is very much applications of the most effective antidote of the mind training Dharma, or the Dharma, which is the altruistic attitude and wisdom, in the form of practice of such as Tonglen, taking and giving, and by understanding the different characteristic of the negation, then eliminating them by like shaming them, uh, uh, deconstructing them, eradicating them, through the application of antidote. So it's very much something like that. Or in this chapter, is very much like it's like someone, like a conversation, between um, like between teacher and student, like that. And you know and teacher kind of guiding us through giving you know an answer with the reasonings, then uh, then practical solutions, introducing the guided meditation practice, through engaging the practice of meditation in application of antidote, etc. So something like that. So first of all, the the verse 54 is the verse of homage. It says like this: you have no concern for your body and life. You never seek kingdom and rewards for acts done, and you practice austerities and forbearances. To you, O hero, I pay homage. So, so this hero here can refer to bodhisattvas. It can even refer to Guru Shakyamuni Buddha. The quality that illustrated here, someone there who give up his own body and life. Someone who renounce kingdom. Someone who renounce all the comfort and the rewards that he gained within the kingdom, and he renounced that solely for the work that the work of elevating sentient beings, numberless sentient beings, from oceans of samsaric suffering, and leading them to the state of enlightenment, like how Shakyamuni Buddha's teaching that guiding us, you know, through the stages of the path, Lamrim, all the way, eventually will abide us in the state of enlightenment. So, so the homage here, the hero, you can refer to Shakyamuni Buddha, or you can refer to the Bodhisattvas. Many of the Bodhisattvas, including um, the main lineage preserver of this teaching, like Atisha, was a prince. Then give up all his kingdom, and comfort, and practice austerities and forbearances working for the sentient beings' well-being, so like that. So because of the theme of this chapter is about altruism, is Bodhisattva's attitude and Bodhisattva's conduct, then here Serlingpa, offer homage to the heroes such as Buddha and Bodhisattvas. So verse 55 it says, "Listen to this tale, or those who grasp at permanent, think of this task, or those who are burdened, if you wish to attain in this short life the seed of your life's ultimate aim." So the Serlingpa, telling the learners like ourselves, here we should take ourselves here, that Serlingpa directly, communicating with us, like, listen to this tale. Uh, those who grasp at permanent, like ourselves, one of the main troublemaker uh, in our life, um, the creator of all the um, karma in relation to in relation to delusions, uh, mhm, in relation to arising of delusions, in relation to the sensual distractions, is very much due to the permanent grasping that we have about our life, permanent grasping that we have about things and events. Even though life and things and events, everything lies in the nature of impermanent. So because of the permanent grasping, we suffer. We continue to um, cycle, reborn in the silent existence, continue to carry these contaminated aggregates. So it's referring to us, or those who grasp at permanent. So Serlingpa saying, think of this task, or those who are burdened, and also, those who are burdened here referring to who are under the control of karma and delusion, until the karma, like ourselves. There are so many things that we do not wish to experience. There's so many things we wish to achieve, but it doesn't go according with what we wish and what we do not wish. There are so many things comes in our way without any control, isn't it? Including aging, certain kind of sickness, then eventually the death. These are the clear evidence in every being, which are out of our control. Uh, and this burden that we carry, uh, the burden of, others' power by karma and delusion. So Serlingpa saying, think of this, you people that who are under the control of karma and delusion. So and saying, if you wish to attain in this short life the seed of your life's ultimate aim. What is the seed of your life ultimate aim? Uh, the seed can understand as our Buddha nature, our true nature, our innate nature of our being. Mm? Uh, the ultimate aim of this life is awaken this seed, fully awaken this seed into absolute resultant Buddha, or in another word, the seed of your life's ultimate aim is awaken your, fully awaken your Buddha nature. Mhm. So if you wish to awaken fully, your Buddha nature, mhm, then, one should overcome the ignorant or permanent grasping, and one should overcome the control of karma and delusion. So something like that. Mm. So then verse 56 is very much um, uh, like caution that, even though um, uh, the Serlingpa by saying that, but Serlingpa by very much like raise caution on behalf of us, like that. This is the caution that we all have. So it's saying, why do you lack will? Why do you lack the will despite your opportunity? What demonic force has come to possess you? Though you are consistently let down by excessive yearning of pleasure, the turn of your thoughts remain coarse. Uh, so even though that we have, the opportunity here referring to the precious human opportunity, the opportunity, um, that our being, our aggregates, carry, even though it's a samsaric aggregates, but these human samsaric aggregates carry the um, all the favorable conditions, such as 8 freedoms and 10 endowments, which give us opportunity if we want, if we really practice accordingly with the Dharma, even if we wish enlightenment within this very lifetime, even before leaving our, this contaminated body, that we have opportunity to actualize enlightenment. If not, at least we have opportunity to actualize our hardship. If not, at least we have opportunity to actualize Arya beings state, where you can overcome the control of delusion and karma, and actualize the illusory body, illusory body, where you are completely free of the influence of the delusion, such like permanent grasping, and you are free from the burden of karma and delusion. You have all these opportunities, and if not, at least properly renounce, actualize the mind of renunciation and enter into the path and continue to, you know, uninterruptedly. There's a chances for us to progress. Uh, if not, at least in this very lifetime, that you can create uh, virtuous condition through observation of pure ethics, a practice of generosity, then making a pure aspiration that at least you can secure your future life, that not being born in the three lord realm, and being born either in the pure land, or being born as a precious human rebirth, where you can continue your journey of spiritual development. We have all this opportunity, uh, even though we have all this opportunity, uh, uh, mm, uh, but then we lack the aspiration in our heart, we lack the will in our part. There's no willpower, always diminish our willpower, sometime because of uh, the karmic circumstances that comes in our way, like sickness, like obstacles, like in our lay life, like business obstacle, relationship obstacles, health issues, then somehow interrupt our will to continue, to continue to continue to be dedicated in our practice, dedicated in our practice. And sometimes we are completely distracted by sensual distractions, sensual pleasure, like very much like in our young age, how we were totally distracted, from the meaning of life, uh, uh, you know uh, very very heavy distraction, falling in love, pursuing education, pursuing wealth, you know for the worldly concern, for this very lifetime's only benefit. We already kind of waste our childhood in that, our adulthood in that, and now most of us are already kind of mid or old age. You see, so these are the interruption to the will to be steadfast, consistent practice in the Dharma. Why? You know, then what demonic forces comes to possess you? There's somehow, even though how many time, how consistently we receive teachings, we read Dharma books, we have a connection with so many sanghas, practitioners, we have so many gurus, even at home got altar, we have centers, so many holy objects, we have temples, etc., etc. But but somehow there's a full of distraction, uh, full of unhappy mind, full of laziness, the uh, laziness in the sense that get distracted to meaningless activities. We spend so much time in meaningless activities. Then the demonic force of the laziness of always, how to say, uh, seeing, undermining our own capability, uh, you see, mm, uh, underestimating our own capability, like, is like kind of giving up hope to actualize Buddhahood within this very lifetime, giving up hope to, you know, realize emptiness, etc., etc. So what demonic forces comes to possess you? So all these distractions, all these delusions are the demonic forces. And so though you are constantly let down by excessive yearning or pleasure, then as I already mentioned, the uh, um, the distractions of excessive consistently um, letting down by excessive letting down from Dharma practice, you know, uh, by excessive desirous grasping or yearning for the sensual pleasure, very much focusing on the very core pleasure, sensual pleasure, which are in fact there's no essence in that. There's nothing wrong for us to enjoy sensual pleasure, but uh, but completely drawn into the sensual pleasure, yearning for sensual pleasure and get distracted by sensual pleasure, is an obstacle, bringing us away from the real meaning of life. Yeah, you see, so it's talking about that. Mm. Then turn of your thoughts remain very core. Then our mind, not fully settled in virtue. Our mind, always remain in confusion. Always uh, very much guided by the conceptual hallucinations. Such as uh, guided our wantings, our needs, our meanings, very much on the basis of self-grasping ignorance, self-grasping ignorance, permanent grasping, you know, then grasping ignorance to impure as a pure, like our aggregates, it's a contaminated aggregates by karma and delusion. But then we have this permanent grasping, the grasping of regarding as a pure, and there's a certain kind of fixation that always remain young, always remain pure, always remain the way you want. These are all against of it is nature, so because of the nature take place, and it doesn't happen the way we want, then we suffer. We feel we are let down. We feel, like Dharma is not working, you know, the food is not working, the comfort is not working, even the life is not working. Then until that, you get very frustrated, you get very disgust about your life, disgust about your own body. It happens like that. These are talking about turn of your thoughts remain in course, so our mind very much like hang around in that kind of confusion, never really settle in inner peace, never really able to settle in a subtle, genuine state of our mind. We are unable to settle into our true being, you see, which is in fact is empty of all these graspings and empty of all these confusions, empty of all these confusions, we you see, um, in fact it's empty of all these confusions, but we very much live in these confusions. So therefore it's a turn your thoughts remain coarse. So talking about that, so very much remain our thinkings are all contaminated, contaminated, as long as it's conceptually, uh, conceptually, uh, defining things and events is already is a core, and uh, um, uh, that conception in particularly, uh, about the self-grasping ignorant and the delusion, then it is even worse, worse crisis, worse, course like that. So mm, mm, Yeah, so this is very much like a caution here, asking caution. So this, caution we should ask ourselves. You see, each line, make into a constructive caution in your own understanding, and bring about the actual meaning that teaching try to teach us. That ask yourself, why like that. Then, as for answer, very much like verse 57 onward is very much like an answer with reasoning. So it says like this: if you persist in falling into relinquish your negative trait, you will be let down even further. You see, so if you continue to uh, failing to overcome uh, the negative trait or negative habitual imprints or our all negative habit, such as the false view on permanent grasping on impermanent nature, you know, the false view of um, you know regarding impure as pure, uh, you know, uh, mm, uh, yeah, mm, 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 mm. Then false view of continue to grasp uh, you know uh, self and others, self and aggregates and phenomena uh, as a inherent existence, even though it's empty of inherent existence, empty of true existence, empty of inner existence, but then continue to grasp as a true existence or inherent existence, then uh, then one will continue to let down even further, meaning our samsara going to be even more disaster. We already feel the disaster. Just looking at the pandemic. The each and every one of us, one or another way that we went through the challenge. During the pandemic, isn't it? So the pandemic is just a one single display of what really samsara is. And we surely, everyone, whether it's believer, non-believer, Buddhist, non-Buddhist, young or old, nobody did like it, isn't it? Everybody feel this is awful, isn't it? It really brought so much of fear, so much of suffering, isn't it? And all these are uh, didn't just pop up without any causes and condition. It is a result of past causes and condition. Who created the causes and condition? Individually and as well as collectively of the world people have accumulated the causes. There's so many different people experience different level of difficulties in relation to COVID. You see, and that is on the whole world experience, but then in that individual experience in different level. So it's very clear that there's a collective creation of karma, and as well as there's an individual contribution of individual karma. So due to that, not everybody experience the same level of inconvenience, even though everybody experience inconvenience. So these are the true color of samsara. So the causes are very much the false view. mm, uh, you see, so uh, so this many of the diseases are very much you see creation of our karma. you know uh, Even many diseases are very much created by science, you see, and those signs are very much through the wrong views. You see, through the wrong views, which is the delusional views. You see, there are a lot of benefit from the science, but there are also a lot of awfulness that comes about science, like such as weapons, nuclear weapons, etc., etc. So basically, the false view and the action is the cause. You see, so if we don't overcome uh, the delusion and karma, then he is saying that we will be continue to let down even further. Our samsara going to be, longer period of longer samsaric suffering in the future, and more intense. Like even there's a follow-up experience of samsaric pain in the three lower realms, like such as animal, hungry ghost, hell realm, like that. It's talking about that. So then the third line says, if you persist in falling into care for others' welfare, then seek only your own needs and desire. So if you persist to fail, uh, you know, uh, you see, one of the main problem of samsara is the self-cherishing attitude. You see, uh, uh, like such as the Shantideva saying, all the suffering comes from cherishing one's own happiness, and all the happiness comes from cherishing the well-being of others. So here, it doesn't mean it's completely wrong about concern of your own well-being, but in selfish manner that you only cherish your own well-being, even in the cause of other suffering, then that is the true cause of, all the suffering, all the faults that we experience. In another word, the self-cherishing attitude, if we don't uh, eradicate that, if we don't transform this self-cherishing attitude into cherishing the well-being of the rest of the numberless sentient being, mm, mm, uh, mm, we only seek our own needs and desire, if we dedicate our life fulfilling all the wantings and demand of self-cherishing attitude, then you will betray, which comes in the verse 58, you will betray everyone, both self and others. You see, you will betray everyone, with the self-centered ego and with self-centered attitude, desires attitude, will not only betray others, but it also betray yourself. And the obvious example is your own self. Why up to now that I have not enlightened, and that itself is is a sign of betrayal that you have caused to yourself. Even though even in this fortunate era, four Buddhas, 1,000 Buddhas will be descending, and four Buddhas have already descended. You see, and not only that, uh, we are in the time of the existence of Shakyamuni Buddha's teaching, complete and alive. Complete and alive. Both Sutra and Tantra, complete and alive through our living gurus. Still, we are not renounced samsara. Still, we are not renounced delusion. Still, we are not renounced karma. You see, uh, not only that, uh, there's so many Buddhas and Bodhisattvas have came in the past, but then we are still, not met them. We are still not able to learn from them and enter into the path. There are many, like such as great Indian pandits, such as great Masidas, the Bodhisattvas. They have entered the path. Many have actualized Buddhahood. But why am I not in that category? Why am I in the category of suffering being? It's because one have not given up the self-cherishing attitude. Because of we cultivated self-cherishing attitude, that betray us. You see, that let us down. You see, that makes us suffer the samsaric pain. You see, Mhm. So you say you will betray everyone, both self and others, and definitely enter the uh, AVC hell. You see, so if we don't at this very stage, when you meet the Lojong teaching, when you meet the Lamrim teaching, when you meet this Buddha Dharma, when you have met precious Guru, well, the teachings are freshly revealed. Uh, if we are still not wake up from this darkness of samsara, if we don't wake up from this darkness of confusion, if we don't take good care of ourselves by creating all the causes for future benefit all the way up to enlightenment, then there is That's very much, here, like definitely will enter into, into every hell means, in next lifetime when we pass away from this life, very much that we will, we may have to experience, we will experience three lower realms, including hell realms. So, so this is not a threatening. It is just, expressing the fact. If we don't purify our karma and delusion now, and looking at, our situation, the majority of our time commit negative karma. Majority of our time, we either generate anger, or we either live in attachment, we either live in hallucination, very much, all the time, 24 hours, we live in hallucination, we live in wrong views, even though we don't say, even though we may say, I carry right views, but whenever our senses come in contact with, it is object, everything interpret, through misconception, through wrong views, wrong view of inherent existence, you see. Even in the philosophical statement, said that ordinary beings' perceptions are all false. Why? Because we carry, when our senses uh, apprehend it is object, we apprehend in the manner of dualistically. We apprehend in dualistically. We apprehend inherently, you see. So therefore, it's regarded as a false, you see. So that itself is a heavy creation of karma, you see. So if we quickly don't realize emptiness, it's looking at our situation, very much that we're going to go lower and lower, until to the hell realm. So this is talking about that. So in another word, you see, one must uh, make sure that this time that one do not betray others, and one also shouldn't betray yourself. And the way to do that is awaken our mind in altruism, the altruistic attitude of bodhicitta, and altruistic wisdom of emptiness is talking about that. Then it says, by siding with this life and fighting for its sake, your thoughts and demonic uh, preconceptions are coarser than anyone's. So by siding uh, with this life and fighting for its sake, uh, meaning that mm, uh, working only for the benefit of this very lifetime's benefit. Mm. Uh, so it's in another way of understanding, uh, very much living in, fulfilling the sensual needs, sensual urge. You see, uh, whenever we live day-to-day life, fulfilling just the sensual urge, sensual needs. What your eye want to see, what your feeling want to feel, what your thinking want to think. You know, uh, so etc. You see, if we live our life just for that, uh, and if we kind of never, uh, try to see the purpose of life beyond that, uh, which is by saying siding with this life and fighting for its sake, then your thoughts and demonic, our thoughts and demonic preconceptions, the delusions, are coarser than anyone's. You see, so that makes our thinking and our uh, the conceptual ideas, which are the delusions, uh, you know, comparing to any other thoughts, that it become the chorus, it become the worst. In short, it's like overwhelming, in the state of overwhelming uh, unsettled mind, in the state of overwhelming, confusion, instead of overwhelming delusion. So it's very much illustrating the actual phase of uh, the five degenerated time. One of the five degenerated time, one of the five degeneration is the coreness of the delusion. Even the delusion, compared to the past, the delusion become more stubborn, more core, more excessive, it's a more easy arising. Yeah, you see. You see, so this is very true. Like in our day-to-day life, we can very much determine the excessive urge and excessive grasping in relation to, physical object and sensual things, sensual needs. Uh, you see, it's like overwhelming. Overwhelming. You see, compared to even comparing to those people of the how to say old age, in old time, mostly live in remote, live in mountains, live in the jungle, before even this technologies came into being, comparing with them and our thinking and our delusion, you know this time our delusion is far more coarser than those of beings, you see, those of time beings, you see. So even comparing before internet came and after internet came, uh, our thoughts and our preconceptions are, in fact, very clear, that you can see become much more coarser. You see, it's so true, isn't it? So true, isn't it? So this teaching was taught a long time ago. uh, uh, but you can, we can relate now. It's very much like, emphasizing our time. You see, even comparing last year and this year, I think our thoughts and our preconceptions are, much more coarser than the last year. You see. Mm. In relation to our needs, in relation to you know the wanting for this very life's comforts, you see, when it comes to food, when it comes to uh, home, when it comes to any form of the sensual, in any object of sensual needs, it become more grasping, is more wanting, you know less renounce, you know uh, instead of see less meaning in it, some more that we have, like we start to see even more meaning in it, you see. Like this, now new devices, they put like new apps, uh, you know uh, uh, you see, that really like fits our delusion. It really fits our thoughts, make us feel that our phone need to upgrade, our computer need to upgrade, uh, uh, you see. mm, because we see like more meaning in it, you see. We see more, how to say, yeah, uh, you see, yeah, more meaning in it. Then our mind like never settle, like in the past, when you have this phone that you put on the table, people keep for 10, 20 years. Now, many people, almost every year, they need to change their phone. It's not because of their phone is useless, it's just because of, they put a new apps. Then just because of that we change, you see. So these business people know exactly, how your delusion function and how your thoughts function. They're so smart, so they take advantage of our our weakness in our delusion, a weakness in our thinking process. uh, we know that we are confused people. They know that we are confused people. These business people know we are confused people. We are very hungry, hungry, like a hungry ghost, desirous hungry ghost. You see. So so you can see, because of that, we really experience a restless journey of life, like always not enough. There's no sense of contentment. So therefore, if there's no contentment, there's no peace. There's no settledness. There's no enoughness. You see. So it's very much like everything, like kind of like not grounded. Everything is kind of very superficial. Very floating like that. You see. So it's talking about that. Mhm. So if we continue to behave like that, if we don't bring control over focusing only on this very life's purpose. If we don't control, if we don't stop, feeding the demand and need of this sensual desire, then verse 59 says, "Your pain and sufferings are greater than everyone." That will bring about our suffering, our pain. The pains of ups and down. Sufferings of ups and down. Like pain and suffering of getting coming into your way, things that you do not wish to encounter, losing the things that you do not wish to lose, suffering of pain, suffering of change. You see, like three kind of suffering of human being, six kind of suffering of human being, eight different kind of suffering of human being. You see, even in the human being, we have all these so many different level of suffering that we go through. you know, it will be greater and greater. You see, your pain and suffering are greater than everyone. Even comparing ourselves of the past at this very stage and to the future, our suffering and the pain going to be greater and greater. So if we don't renounce the desire, this essential desires like that. The torment of piercing wound and agony intense indeed. The pain of heat and cold resemble those of hell. You see, the torment of piercing wound and agony intense indeed, like such as the pain, the suffering that hell being experienced, pain of heat, like such as the hot hell, cold hell, resemble those of the hell being, like even because of the so much focus on our sensual needs and never really focus on our inner peace, then our senses become so sensitive. Then even slight a slight severe slight cold sensation comes in our way, we feel suffer, like was almost as if like we are suffering in the cold hell. If the heat goes slightly hotter, then we experience like as if like we are experiencing hot hell, like that. You see, some people, you can see, they are so protected, they like always comforted by sensual needs, like kind of in everything, on their fingertips. It's a little tolerance when there's a kind of the elemental changes comes in their way. You see, like there's no forbearances in relation to uh, uh, the imbalanced elements. You see. So so this is because of our senses become so core. Our receptive, our reception, our senses become so core. In particularly the main reception, our mind becomes so core. So little intolerance, little forbearances. So slight problem, we exaggerate, we magnify as a huge problem. Slight pain, we exaggerate as if like the entire universe pain comes in your way. You see, uh, like we can see very clearly in our day-to-day life that we have so much complaint. We have so much complaint, and these are the sign of uh, how core our thinking are, how core our mind are, how unsettled our minds are. This is the sign that we never went deeper level of our main, consciousness. You see, it is a sign of we never really meditated. You see, we always live in the superficial happiness, which are in actually it is a suffering of change. So it's talking about that. You see, so so here talking the importance of letting go of focus of our sensual pleasure, uh, letting go of the sensual desires, uh, and try to strive for genuine happiness which is the inner happiness, inner peace. You see, genuine happiness of liberation, genuine happiness of cessation, genuine happiness of enlightenment. You see, so the way to do that, we need to do meditation. We need to do, we need to go beyond our conceptual mind. We need to go deeper level of communication to the world. Deeper level. We need to find uh, dialogue between uh, our senses, our mind and the object, through meditative mind, through our meditative mind, through our more, awakened mind. You see, up to now we only communicate, on sensual level. You see, and we define liking, disliking, wanting, not wanting, right and false, everything based on our sensual decision, our sensual determination. You see, so because of that, everything goes wrong. Why? Because that sensual idea, that sensual mind carry the false lenses, false view. You see, so when the lenses is full, then if you wear uh, blue color glass, if you look at white mountain, if you never introduce the true nature of the real color of the snow mountain is white, then when you first time see the white mountain, you see blue mountain. You see blue, and you apprehend as a blue mountain. You see, and you grasp as a blue mountain. You see, so therefore, we carry the lenses of a dualistic mind, dualistic lenses, inherent lenses, permanent lenses. Then we tend to grasp things and even as a permanent. you know, we apprehend as a permanent and we grasp as a permanent. Then when the actual fact of the impermanent comes in its way, then we get shocked. We get betrayed. We as if like we get betrayed. Then we suffer. So it's really makes so yummy sense. We can really relate to how we behave. You see, so like that. So it's so important. Here talking about the really. At least every day to day, we should really do meditation. If we don't know so many complicated meditation technique, but at least try to train our uh, mental focus on the breathings, and try to get away from the monkey mind. You see, so the monkey minds are the sensual mind. Monkey minds are the confused mind, conceptual hallucinations. You see, all what we have discussed, those are the monkey mind. And it is not nice. Even sometimes feel good, feel uplifted, but then it doesn't last, isn't it? It doesn't last. You see, so so therefore, we still have the potential to experience lasting happiness. We call the inner peace. You see, so the inner peace can only can able to manifest in our being when we close the door, when we close the arising of the sensual mind. The moment we close the arising of the sensual mind, then our deeper level of mind manifest. You see, so for that we need a kind of pathway, tools to lead us to the deeper level of mind, and that is, the simplest way, even recommended by Lama Tsongkhapa in the Lamrim, and so many other, treatise, scriptures are recommended. Start with simply focusing on the breath. You see, if at the beginning we just simply count, simply be aware of the natural breathing going in and out. You know, train for 20, about 20, 21 to 22 times. Then after that, see whether you can stay focused for maybe half an hour, then see about 1 hour, then about 3 hours. If you're able to do, one length, about 3 hours without get any other thoughts, just simply able to focus on only the dedicated object of your meditation, the breathing, then you have a certain kind of capability to close the disturbing mind and bring about the arising of the inner mind, the more deeper level of mind, which is the meditative state of mind, uh, you know, uh, mm, which which is not distracted mind, which has no kind of uh, which by its nature there's no uh, uh, you know no other powering. You see, by its nature of that mind is very clear, luminous, and cognizing more deeper level of the object that mind apprehends. Is if you go even deeper from there, then you're able to even know the absolute truth of everything. You see, and you're able to relate everything on the basis of knowing the truth, not in the false. You see, so when you know the truth, when you communicate with the phenomena, with the things and events with truth, the truth that there's no way to betray you, because that is the ultimate truth. There's nothing to betray you, isn't it? So when you achieve that kind of state, then you achieve inner peace, genuine sense of happiness. You see. So therefore, meditation is so important. Why is recommended breathing? Because breathing, from the object of meditation, the breathing is a natural in us. We don't have to put any extra effort, kind of bringing some object from outside for you to let focus, isn't it? Isn't it? So this, because of that, the breathing, play a very easy role, when you start to focus, to calm yourself and to really to, even lead to the awakening state. You see, but if you feel easier with some other familiar object, it can be sound, it can be image of, like a holy image like Buddha's face, uh, or letters or the light, whatever it is. Here the point is, we have to learn to control our mind. At the moment, our mind is completely other powered, as we mentioned before, burdened by delusion and karma. You see, overpowered by delusion. You see, so now we have to bring control our mind under our own control. You see, bring our mind serviceable to what you demand. You see, so what you innately demand is lasting happiness. You know, uh, even while we are even while we are carrying these samsaric aggregates, we need to have a wisdom to deal with it. We need to have a right attitude and right wisdom to deal the process of these samsaric aggregates. When we go through day-to-day ups and downs, day-to-day changes, aging, including death. If we have a wisdom and attitude, uh, correct wisdom and correct attitude, then day-to-day, the samsaric occurrence will not disturb you. Aging will not disturb you. The death won't disturb you. You see, so that's the purpose. You see, so here, so talking about that. Mm. Mm. The pain of heat and cold resemble those of the hell. The misery of poverty and depression seems greater than anyone's. You see, so in human realm, some people really go through uh, the suffering, uh, even though it's a human suffering. It's not a hell being suffering. It's not a hungry ghost suffering. It's not a suffering that experienced by animals. You know, if we learn about the suffering that what the hell hungry ghosts, animal go through, the suffering that we human go through is nothing compared to them. But there are human beings, you see, uh, through due to the way how they interpret their suffering, uh, makes them so miserable, uh, as similar, as very much similar to the suffering that goes through hell being, until we even conventional label that that person is going through a hell, isn't it? You see, or that person is going through uh, like starvation, like the hunger, like a hungry ghost, or that person was abused and suffer like animals. We have this language. You see, we have this language that used for certain beings, in certain human beings, what they go through their life. See, but whatever it is, it is a human suffering, as mentioned before. Comparing to the three law realm, nothing. And more than that, the human has it is extraordinary intelligent. You see, more than that, you know, the Dharma teaching, Dharma wisdom and Dharma attitude, in particularly Mahayanic Dharma, you know, the altruistic wisdom and attitude, has the tool to really, find only meaning in any form of suffering we go through. Until until even the how worst situation that we go through, we find meaning in them, like such as practice of developing your heart, such as practice of developing compassion, love, such as practice of developing selflessness, the wisdom of selflessness, through the practice of taking and giving, through the practice of regarding as a purification, when we go through problem, instead of we get overwhelmed by disturbances, we rather take the opportunity to apply all the teaching that taught about karma, and take the full opportunity to purify once for all entire past, present, future karmas, you know, once for all, you see. Whatever problem we go through, instead of overwhelmed by confusion and suffering, rather, you know, uh, take uh, that problem that we go through as an opportunity to purify entire karma. More than that, to create abundance of new causes of future happiness, like taking all other sentient beings suffering onto that, and use your altruistic capability to you know uh, uh, appreciate experiencing rest of the other sentient beings suffering, so that rest of the other sentient beings don't have to suffer. you know just with that attitude, really makes you such a huge heart, huge open heart, full of wisdom, until that your heart is filled with full of wisdom and altruistic attitude. There's no room, there's no time for you to, you know, get distracted by the problem that you're going through, because your heart, your thinking, your thought is completely filled with right attitude and right wisdom. You see, and this is not just kind of like, some people may say talking is easy but doing is difficult. Everybody will say that, isn't it? But the thing is, there's evidence, there's evidence that our masters, they achieve, they carry the same body like us, they have the same lifestyle like us. Not only our masters, they are individual practitioners, lay practitioners, ordained practitioners, you see, young and old, there's so many that who do that, you see. Maybe among this, the audience that listening this teaching, maybe many of you are able to do that. Maybe I'm the only one there who's not able to do that. Maybe all of you know how to, whenever problem comes, you really take the full opportunity to practice Tonglen, full opportunity to purify the karma, and your heart completely filled with full of loving kindness, compassion, full of wisdom of selfless, full of wisdom of, you see, appreciation of life, and completely aspiration, completely filled with aspiration to be reborn in the pure land, or actualize enlightenment, whatever, because of you're able to integrate the practice so effectively, uh, 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 you see, you may be doing that. Maybe I'm the only one, maybe only talk, but maybe unable to do that, but me too. I may not able to do as like how you able to do that, but I also try, and yeah, and small matter, I also get success, and that can be my own evidence and my own proof to myself. Uh, you see, prove to myself that, oh, if I practice a bit harder, if I practice a bit more consistent, uh, I will able to do exactly like you too. I may able to even overcome all the bigger problems, all the bigger level of sufferings, that I can able to transform everything, take everything onto the path to enlightenment, to develop my heart, to bring benefit to sentient beings, you see. Uh, until that, when the death comes, that I can able to take the death also path onto the enlightenment, you see. So again, we cannot say only our guru can able to do that. Only past Buddha and Buddhists are able to do that. Only senior practitioner can do that. You know, uh, that is kind of like bit of kind of say I cannot do that because I'm beginner. I'm just introduced to Dharma. No, if we try it, anybody can do that. If I can do that little bit, at least surely you can do that slightly more than me. So something like that. You see. So otherwise, if we don't put effort in that, then endless suffering, endless suffering. Even in the good time, we see problem. Even when we enjoying good health, we see miserable health, health problem. Even the business is doing good, we still see faults in the business. You see fear. You see, uh, even the relationship is good, but there's a lot of kind of you know suspiciousness and unnecessary creation of doubts that bring about relationship problems. You see, so if we don't clear away, depending the decision, right or wrong, through our usual way, based on the conceptual confusion or the sensual mind, then we will continue to go through a lot of problems. So this is something like that. So we really need to try to train to use our meditative mind. So verse 60, the terror of hunger and thirst is intense as a hungry ghost. The terror of hunger and thirst in the intense of hungry ghost. You are like a poisonous snake or the rabid dog. Mm. When you have a possession, you suffer from having to guard it. When you don't have, you wonder about searching for it. You see, these are all human beings suffering. These are all human suffering. You see, so again, the point comes, we start to use our meditative mind. You see, meditative mind. Don't depend on our, uh, our ordinary sensual minds and the, delusions and our sensual perceptions. We cannot depend on that. So, so however you act, verse 61. So however you act, you seek pain and suffering. Whatever you do, you lost your real purpose. Uh, this is yeah. So like that. Mm, yeah. So you see. So we don't transform our mind. Our mind is the creator. Our perception is the creator. You see, our thought is the creator of everything, good and bad, suffering and happiness, right and wrong. You see, so if we don't transform our thought, if we don't transform our mind, if we don't transform our perception, if we don't change our old habit, then so however you act, you seek pain and suffering. In whatever way, even you pursue happiness, you will encounter suffering. whatever way you try to think, uh, that in all habit way, then in whatever way you do, whatever action that you create through your body, speech, and mind, as long as it is driven by delusion and driven by misconception, driven by the sensual, sensual mind, uh, sensual desire, then you seek pain and suffering. It's very much like you are seeking pain and suffering. Only pain and suffering will be result. So therefore, whatever you do, you lose. In that way, then whatever you do, you lose your purpose of life. You see. So even when we practice Dharma, if we practice Dharma only for this very lifetime's purpose, only to fulfill our sensual needs, sensual pleasure, then even in the Dharma practice, you won't find meaning. So even in our spiritual practice, you won't find meaning. You see, if we pray only for the purpose of this only for the purpose of this very life, or only to make you feel good, only to make you feel comfortable, then you won't find the definite meaning, the purpose, even in the Dharma practice, even in your prayers, even in your practice, even in your meditation. You see, so so therefore, um, in order for us to find meaning in life, in order to find, for us to find meaning in our practice, and we need to use our deeper level of consciousness, our deeper level of understanding. You see, so we practice from depth of our heart. You see, we chant from depth of our heart. You see, we pray from depth of our heart. We have order at home, depth of our heart. We offer light offering from depth of our heart. We express love and kindness and compassion from depth of our heart. You see, we care for others from depth of our heart. You see, we don't harbor any wrong thinking from depth of our heart. We really care for this well-being of sentient being from depth of our heart. You see, we serve the Guru from depth of our heart. We give from depth of our heart. You see, we take from depth of our heart. You see, we service from depth of our heart. You see, so everything we do from depth of our heart means from the deeper level, from the more of the meditative state of our being, that you do all these things. In other words, everything do with correct wisdom and correct attitude, like that. Okay, I need to stop here, so I have to attend next session. I have one session at 3:30, so I will stop here. Yeah. In fact, I plan to finish the whole chapter, but somehow, somehow no way. So anyway, no rush. Okay, so thank you very much, and take care. Yeah, so we do short dedication. So whatever merit that we accumulate, collectively here, as well as the merit that we accumulate individually, as well as the merit and the virtue accumulated by past, present, future Buddhas, be the complete cause for numberless sentient beings to be free from sufferings and the causes of suffering, actualize peerless happiness all the way up to the enlightenment. May this collective merit be a complete cause, the pandemic in the world be overcome, the causes of it be overcome, and the cure be most effective. And may every being, every human being in this planet able to resume into new phase of positive life, where it carry full of loving kindness, compassion, understanding, and wisdom. May this collective merit be complete cause. All the world leaders, the leaders of the institutions, and whoever lead the family, and yourself who lead your life, be free from misconceptions, wrong views, delusions, such like sensual desire, as we discussed in the teaching. Then the self-cherishing attitude, self-grasping attitude, and equipped with full of right attitude of loving kindness, compassion, forgiveness, service, generosity, patience, perseverance, then a wisdom of selfless, wisdom of emptiness. so that anyone under the leadership can able to enjoy peace and happiness virtue only. May this quality merit be complete cause anyone that who passed away, in particular in last 49 days, also those of the name that who have submitted to me, and those of people that to whom that they pass away. We dedicate this collective merit for them to overcome the suffering of death, suffering in the meditative state, suffering of rebirth, actualize high rebirth in the pure land, and there they actualize state of full enlightenment accordingly. May this collective merit be complete cause for anyone that who are going through difficult time, health, wealth, relationship, whatever mentally, physically sufferings they may be going through, and also those people that who have submitted their name, and those people to whom that they need your prayer support. May our collective prayer through you be the complete cause for them to free from all the sufferings, all the causes of suffering, actualize perfect health, long life, and fulfill all the aspirations after enlightenment. May this collective merit be complete cause for all the good people in this world, like such as our precious gurus, like His Holiness the Dalai Lama, Yabja Lama Sopa Rinpoche, and all the gurus, your gurus, and yourself and your family members. Always enjoy good health, long life, and fulfill your all aspirations accordingly. May this collective merit be a complete cause for all the virtuous institutions like monasteries and nunneries and Dharma centers, the teaching, the organized, the FPMD Australia, all the FPMD Australia centers, study groups, the projects, and national office, free from inner outer secret obstacles, and actualize all the conducive conditions to preserve virtue and Dharma, perfect in extensive learning and actualizing realization on the stages of the path. May this collective merit be complete cause. May be able to practice like the past Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, and be most beneficial for the well-being of numberless sentient beings. That dedicate ourselves, and the merit and the purpose that we dedicate all lies in the nature of emptiness, dependent rising. Yawade Nyudo da Lama Sanje Dujune Dowaji Jamaluba de Zala Gobrajo, Janju Semjo Rimboche, Majebanam Kiju, Kawani Bameba, Gone Gondo Pevajo, Pamasim Jetam Tony Tawari Boje, Majebanam Kiju, Kawani Bameba, Gone Gondo Peva. Remi Tawari Boje, Majebanam Kiju, Kawani Bameba, Gone Gondo Peva, Show, Kari Ravi Kovation of the Pendant de Wamalijo, and the Cherese Watens in Jazu. Chavese de Bado Denju, Tobzo Jaji Jango Jave, the Jobe, Kozo, Dovaji, Choson Govele Metodo. Dazo de Jeguando Shabde Jo Bedanzo Wamigabation, Wabazam Jessemjara Wagunja Samba Children, Tombaji comes to Jamba, the Temba Nivation, then the Bologino, the Temba Urine, Tashi, Shoni Model, Sendel, Nimegoya, the Legend Kunjo Sumje Tashi Show. Okay, thank you very much. Take care. Thank you.